I'm going to keep this one. Okay, I'll take it. You should hold it that way.
Okay, we're going to get going. We're going to get going. Thank you very much.
Okay, Marina Miller is going to present to us on cultural inclusion and artistic diversity. Please welcome her.
Hello everyone, I am Marina Miller, and I did my topic with you side on the influence of artistic expression upon cultural diversity and inclusion. And I chose this kind of strange topic because I'm a really passionate person, and what I care about is the differences that other people possess, why they possess them, and how that influences their place and role in society. So an integral part of culture, which is the reason why a lot of differences exist, is art. And what makes art so special is that it's a highly introspective and individualized experience when you're viewing or creating art, but it can be used to overcome boundaries between other people and cross unspoken boundaries between entire cultures when that experience is magnified and shared. So to kind of dive into my topic, I started over the summer at the Kluge Rue Aboriginal Art Collection in Charlottesville, Virginia. And I served there under the mentorship of Ms. Lauren Malkin on the right and Ms. Camilla Bell on the left. And they work in educational outreach at the museum. And the museum is really special because it highlights artists who are specialize in Aboriginal art, who are from the Aboriginal culture, and showcases their art in the museum. And so they kind of represent, they give a voice to a culture that's been underrepresented in Western society and in their own country. Even. So for the Young Art Historians program, my job was to research a painting in their collection that they didn't have enough information on to put into their collection normally. So this is the painting right here. And when I started, I was given a proposed artist's name and region of origin, and that was it. And I was supposed to find everything else about it, which was kind of hard because when I started my project, I didn't know a single thing about Aboriginal art. I had to learn everything that I know about Aboriginal art while I was on the job. And to do that, I had to kind of kick it old school because there's no such thing as a Google search that brings up everything you need to know about Aboriginal people because they are so underrepresented in Western culture. So especially if you don't have anything to type into the search bar to start with. So to do that, I just had to read every book that I could find that related to my region of origin that could possibly bring up something about my artists in the Kluge Rue's library of books on Aboriginal art. And this was kind of frustrating, but eventually I had a breakthrough where I found a name of an artist that had some of the same letters as the name of the artist I was given. And that led me to find this painting, which is awesome, and this totally altered my research from that point on. So we're all going to be art historians for a second here. Now I want you to take a look at the center of the painting, how there's a four-pointed figure, and on each point there are stars. And in the center, there's a bird on the top. Okay, so let's take a look back at my painting that I was studying. We have the same four-pointed figure with stars on each corner and a bird on the top. So this led me to hypothesize that the artist who created my painting was the same artist who had this altered name and had created the previous painting. So I found all of these different names referring to the same person, and then I presented my findings that the name had been altered in translation to my mentors, who presented this idea to the museum curator, who confirmed my findings. And then I wrote a research paper that I left in care of the museum for their future use. So yes, I wrote 2 research papers for my project. To continue upon the topic of cultural inclusion through art, I worked with the Equity and Diversity Club over in China High School, which I'm the president of, and my mentor, Dr. Nora Coleman. So my community service project was the creation of a social inclusion campaign at our high school. And what this consisted of was the creation of Mix It Up Day and the creation of a mural and also some Equity University Club meetings where I led topics of human rights and social inclusion and privilege. So the largest part of my community service project was Mix It Up Day. And what Mix It Up Day is a national event to create and encourage inclusion in the lunchroom by getting people to break down barriers and talk to people they wouldn't normally talk to. Supposed to be moving. Sorry. And so what you'll see here is us, the Equity University Club, preparing for Mix It Up Day, and then eventually the event itself right here. It was really successful, actually. We had a lot of positive feedback. How it worked was people were given wristbands and encouraged to sit at a table with balloons of the same color. And then facilitators who were trained to lead discussion were seated at each table to encourage conversation between people mixing it up. And this is my legacy. It's going to continue. Sorry. It's going to continue in future years by the Equity University Club. It will be held annually. And I also left behind my materials for them to use to make sure that the event is successful, and also just the first step towards social inclusion that will hopefully continue each year. So the second part of my project is the creation of a mural. And I'm going to go back. You can see the pictures of that went into the mural. These were from the Equity University Club. We had over 200 students pictured. But the history of this is found in my research. One of the strongest points I found in my research is that the psychological experience of a visual exercise can create compassion and empathy in similarly affected viewers. And so we want to harness that compassion and empathy through the use of a visual exercise. And this visual reminder is upstairs. If you want to go look at it later, it's on the floor by the counseling center, or it's on the wall by the counseling center. And it says, "We are all OC." So I'm just going to go back really quick so you can take a look at it. This is what it says. "We are all OC," and it's just a visual reminder that inclusion is for everyone. It plays off the school spirit campaign that says, "We are OC." And so just visual reminder, hopefully that will encourage inclusion in our school. So just a reflection for future governor school students, I would just say, don't be afraid. Even if you feel small or shy or insignificant in any way, that you are capable of standing up on a chair and leading a group of people, or putting on a blazer to ask administration for what you want, or breaking down barriers that other people didn't even know existed. So thank you. Questions?
I just have a comment. Like, I loved the idea of the Mix It Up and being able to we did something similar with NHS when we had the special needs kids sit with regular, I don't say regular kids, that sounds wrong, but sit with everybody, so that the idea is that, you know, we're all part of the same school and we all need to profit. So that was a wonderful presentation project. I really liked it.
Oh, I got a good question for you. So when you said that you wrote these two research papers for the arts over at
One research paper.
One research paper.
And one research paper for the project.
And you said you left it with the Center for the Arts there. Did they publish this paper? Did you?
I don't know. That's up to them to decide. It's not like a professional
Right.
paper by any means, but it's just for them to use when they're coming up with. Usually, if they're going to be displaying a piece of art, they'll have a placard that says information about the creation date, what the artist is, their plan or moiety, significance of the painting, what it means, that kind of thing. So that could help them to form that if they were to put it on display later.
What honor. That's awesome. Proud of you.